Welcome to your daily dose, international yachting, sailing, and boating news for Monday, May 30th. If you like what you see or hear, please do subscribe. If you have a story or a suggestion, please do feel free to reach out to us at info@yachtinginternationalradio.com. Now for today's news. More information is being released in regards to the Superyacht Amadea, currently held under sanction in Fiji. The latest court case took place on Friday, May 27th, with the U.S. coming out on top as Fiji's Court of Appeal dismissed any appeal by the company that legally owns the superyacht. However, it looks like the case is now headed for Fiji's Supreme Court. No matter, as it doesn't look like there is any crew willing to sail the vessel to the U.S. under the U.S. government's command. The captain, John Walsh, has given two reasons for the refusal. One being that the crew members are no longer being paid because the owner's funds have been frozen. And the other reason is that the crew is worried that breaching its employment contract by working with U.S. law enforcement could ruin their professional reputations. The U.S. government hired replacement crew, with the captain refusing them boarding due to lack of proper vetting. It looks like this battle is far from over, with the one question of how the small island nation is going to afford the upkeep of such an expensive asset. It's not being addressed by either parties. As the wealth gap continues to grow between the haves and have-nots, the haves are becoming fearful for their safety on board and on land. With the ever-growing security industry being tasked to build safe rooms and ultra-modern security systems on mansions around the world, it isn't surprising that there are firms now tasked with tactically fortifying yachts and super yachts. A home and yacht security firm was quoted in a recent news article that inquiries had jumped 1,000% in the past 6 months. Their main concern? Drones. With the ability to carry bombs and chemical weapons on top of the obvious privacy issues and the possibility of aiding in a cyber attack, there is a need for long, medium, and close-range detection, perimeter detection, and defense, as well as underwater detection. I guess the more money you have, the bigger your concern. £6 million worth of superyacht has burnt and sunk in Torquay and Devon, UK on Saturday. The 85-foot vessel was moored in Torquay Marine and was carrying around 8,000 liters of fuel when it went up in flames. Officers were forced to evacuate a nearby beach and roads, and the harbor was temporarily brought to a standstill over fears of oil and fuel pollution. The fire raged for approximately 6 hours and affected a portion of the dock, and currently a cleanup operation is underway. There were no injuries and the fire remains unexplained, with an investigation expected. Again, over to the US. 5 people are dead after a boating accident in the Wilmington River, Georgia. Emergency services were called around 10:30 on Saturday morning to respond to a crash between 2 boats who were traveling in opposite directions when they collided. One boat had 6 people on board. The other boat had 3 people on board. An investigation into what happened is ongoing. It was reported last Thursday that a fire had broken out on board the cruise ship Carnival Freedom while it was docked in port in Grand Turk. On board were 2,504 guests and 972 crew. The fire broke out in the ship's funnel, and crew directed all guests to remain inside the ship. Now, the big issue. Following the fire, the company delivered a letter to the guest cabins stating that it intended to send them home as soon as possible. However, rather than chartering airplanes to transport its guests home, which would cost several millions of dollars to fly the several thousands of guests by jets back to Florida, they sailed the sister ship from Florida to Grand Turks to pick up the guests and transport them back to Florida. The company letter included a 50% future credit and a $100 onboard credit, not per guest, per stateroom. The fire has caused extensive enough damage to the cruiser, which will require a period of time in the shipyard for repairs. On Friday, Bermuda maritime operations were assisting Canadian and U.S. authorities in the search for a missing sailboat. The sailboat's strange situation had left Bermuda with a destination of Nova Scotia and was 3 days behind on its estimated arrival. The vessel and its 3 crew were expected to reach their destination on May 25th and had not been heard from. An update to the story, however, strange situation updated its anticipated arrival time, and with authorities monitoring its journey, all is well. Now, that story caught my attention because just Friday we were talking about the Bermuda Triangle and, of course, this mysterious sailboat, but another strange situation. This has been your daily dose of yachting, sailing, and boating news for Monday, May 30th. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you heard or saw, please do hit the subscribe button. And if you have any suggestions, questions, or news that you would like to share, please send us an email at info@yachtinginternationalradio.com. My name is Ria. I have been your host, and I will see you back here tomorrow morning at 0600 CET, midnight EST. I hope you have an amazing Monday and a great week ahead.